Hey, all right. Well, hey, Sunday morning. I know I don't have to get into work yet, so I thought, well, I'm going later. Yeah, but I over at the supermarket. So I thought, hey, let's knock out a video blurb and and see what we can do for you. You know, the other day I went to the casino, first time in a year, with my brother and his wife, well, Ed and Helen, and had a grand old time. Sandy had stuff to do with her antique business, so she stayed home. Although I kind of wish she would have come along. She likes gambling on antiques. Yeah, uh, she does love that. Buy a box lot, see what's in the box lot. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's kind of fun for her, and she does okay. So anyway, I was thinking uh, how at one time, I dearly loved horse racing. Yeah, I really did. Enjoyed it to no end. Actually, was considering maybe learning to be a handicapper or, work in the stables. It's something about horse racing. Just honestly, I get choked up. Yeah, I get choked up watching the horses walk out onto the field ready to run a race. You can tell that in their own minds, I think they want to race. I think they really do enjoy it. Oh, it's not always the safest sport. In fact, I imagine it's quite dangerous. It is quite dangerous. I don't imagine it is. And it's even dangerous working with racehorses. They're very high strung and well. I used to for a while. I worked in the backfield only for a little while, so I'm certainly no expert. But I thought, well, I ought to see what it's like. So I found a guy who would take me on as a hot walker. Uh-huh. No, it's not because I was hot and I walked. No, it's not street walker. Hot walker. What you do is the horses come in from a workout, and it's your job to walk them till they cool off. I mean, that could be. Oh gosh, that could be. Hmm. Let me look here. I thought I said. Oh, I think I see what. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. What we're seeing is a mirror image. I thought I saw something. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, okay. Yeah, no, there's a mirror on that door behind me. Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking, who's that guy? From my angle here, anyway. Anyway, so yeah, the hot walking. The horses come in from a workout or a race. They're all sweaty. They got to be walked till they cool off. I ran into a fellow who used to be in the cavalry. No, the horse cavalry. He was very old, an old timer, and he said, "Gosh, for every mile you rode a horse, you had to walk it something like 2 or 3 miles, maybe even four." I think he said. He said the idea of you and that horse galloping, like the Lone Ranger for 20 miles. He says no, that ain't how it works. And he says, "Heaven help you, that horse come back into the stable sweaty. You'd be yeah, you'd be mucking stalls for the rest of your tour of duty." Uh, anyway, so one day I was hot walking a horse. Can't think of his name right now, but a nice old horse, racehorse. They had just run a workout. I'm walking and in fact he may have been already hot walked and they just had me holding, making sure he didn't go running off, and then he was just grazing on the grass outside in the paddock area. He's having himself a little snack. They love clover, and well, they just like to nip at grass and munch. Just I guess like we like a bag of candy. They like a they like a nice grassy patch to mush with. Yes. So I've got the I'm walking the horse. Just again we're just diddy bopping around, and the trainer, the guy that hired me, I will call him Jack. I don't know if that was his real name. It was a while ago now. I was quite much younger, and he's looking at me and he say, "Doc," and yeah, I already was in radio, so I had the air name Doc. He said, "Hey, Doc." I said, "Yeah." He says, "How much do you weigh?" I'm thinking, God, maybe he wants me to be not a jockey, but a God, what do you call it? Oh, I can't think of the name right now. It'll come to me. Where a guy, a workout guy. Yeah, I'm thinking, boy, pretty soon I'm gonna be riding these horses out on the track. God, this would be great. I said, well, I weigh about 100 and 130. I could lose some weight if you want. He says, no, no, no. He says, I'm just asking. He says, hey, how much do you think that horse weighs? I said, yeah, I don't know. Looking. I said, gosh, I don't know. I guess what about let me think. I'd say maybe 1,000 pounds. He says, yeah, well, you're close. He says, yeah, he runs about 1,100. This one. Sometimes he's down to 1,000. Yeah, I said, okay. He says, how fast can you run? I said, gosh, run. I'm thinking I don't want to run any race. I said, well, I'm fast enough, I guess. I don't know. I, I, it's been a while since I run a 100-yard dash. He says, yeah, yeah. He says, how fast do you think that horse can run? I said, yeah, I don't know. Well, race horses do what, about 25, 30 miles an hour, right? He said, yeah. He says, let me ask you something. He says, if that horse, look at how that lead, the lead that was attached to the horse is, actually to the horse. Yeah, it was around his neck, I believe. That leather strap. He says, and he says, if that horse takes off, do you think you could hold him back? I said, no, I don't think so. Once he bolts off, he says, right. He says, race horses can be in about 3 steps. They can be up to about 30 miles an hour, especially right out of the box. I said, yeah, yeah. He says, he's he says, can you run 30 miles an hour? I said, no. He says, why in God's name do you have that strap wrapped around your hand tied in a knot? Can you untie that knot and run 30 miles an hour with your arm being yanked out of your socket? I said, no. He says, well, I said, and I look, and the strap's all, it's like, oh my God. I had it all in my fingers. He says, man, that horse is going to take your hand off if something scares him. And let me tell you something, a little bee stinging him on the rump will do it. And that horse will run a mile with your arm flopping on his side. He won't care. You'll care, won't you? I said, yeah, yeah. That was the first taste of reality in the paddock area for me. Having racehorses bite me was another thing. They used to bite me when they didn't win their race, and I had money on them. But boy, they bite you in the stall even worse. Oh my God! I could show you. I don't. Actually, if you were here, you could feel it. There's a lump in my arm where this horse named King Louie, King Louie, bit me. Oh my God, he bit me so bad. And he enjoyed it so much, he bit me there twice and 3 times. Yeah. Oh, my God. People told me in the stable, they said, well, hit him. I said, I don't want to hit a horse. That wouldn't be right. They said, well, he bites you the 4th time, you'll probably hit him. So I'm thinking about it, but gee. So I just kind of avoided the monster. He was a mean, cantankerous horse. But it was... Oh, no, it was still kind of interesting. And there were nice race horses, too. Some of them, boy, they could really run. Oh, my gosh, tell you. And others, yeah, they were nice. They were friendly. You got to know which ones you could walk up to and pet on the nose and stuff, and they wouldn't rip you to shreds. In fact, they'd be kind of happy for the attention. Yeah. There was one. What did he like? Oh, my gosh. Well, he liked getting on a hot day, getting his feet soaked in ice water. Yep, he liked that. Then brush to get his mane all brushed, get all the and then he loved his little bug blanket. They have like a mesh kind of blanket you put over them. Yeah, and he really liked that. But mostly he just liked if you walked over, gave him a carrot or something. He was a friendly old horse, and he'd come over. I'd be kind of near him, and next thing I'd feel, he'd hit me with his nose. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I got a million racehorse stories. We'll have to work on that. Yeah, 'cause it was kind of and interesting. Learning to handicap the races and stuff. It was yeah, it was fun. No, never really. I can, there was days I won at the track, but for the most part, I won because I had a good time, and it is kind of a blast, and not for everyone, but yeah, it was a day at the track, yeah, with well back then with a beer and a hot dog and maybe a few friends. It was I felt like time well spent. Anyway, so a few little quick racehorse stories. I may come up with more as time goes on. God knows I've got enough of them. Yeah. Okay, so hey, thank you. And listen, if I have a YouTube. Well, you're at the YouTube site, but I also have a web station where I play older music from the 20s through the 70s, all different types. Go to my website, DocSouthShow.com, DocSouthShow.com, and you'll see a link to the station and also a link to my GoFundMe page. My efforts can use donations, my writing efforts especially, and the station costs more than it should. So more than it's worth, yeah. Okay, yeah, it may be, but I'd be any donation would be cheerfully accepted. Trust me. Okay. Hey, yeah, there's Doc South on GoFundMe. Right. Okay. Other than that, hey, have a blast, and we'll see you later. Bye now.